Look at him. He's right here. The biggest fan.
How are you doing, my brother?
But quite honestly, let me start with introducing you thoda formally, okay?
Irshad.
Ish. So, today we have somebody who is a good-looking actor. He's a phenomenal human being, and honestly, he is for everyone in IIMUN a family member. You know who I'm talking about because the person I'm talking about is the person who's currently talking to you. And also on this show, we have Nakuul Mehta.
मेरी बिल्ली मुझसे मैं आऊं.
आपने बोला था इतना पेट्रोनाइज नहीं करो तो अभी पेट्रोनाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं.
I'm so glad, yeah. I'm tired of seeing Rishabh Shah patronizing every guest who comes here, making everyone feel like they are the topmost celebrities in the world. Stop doing that, Rishabh. I don't know if you guys agree or not.
I'm stopping that today. Starting today, we will stop that.
Yeah. I'm so glad because sometimes I have to really Google these people who you call on your show. And then the way you hype them up, sometimes I feel either my general knowledge is really weak or Rishabh has joined Hum Aapke Kaun Rajshri Productions because that's how they are, just like loving and spreading love to everyone they meet.
I thought you would say I've joined Dharma Productions, Baba. At least
all about love. Bro, Dharma is only about loving your family. You're about loving anybody who comes on your show.
Now, this I've learned from you. On the IIMUN platform, whenever you host anyone, you go like, "Arey, what a phenomenal guy! What an amazing guy!" And I'm sitting there, I'm like, but the last guest doesn't know that he used the same introduction for this guest, and this guest doesn't know that the same introduction is going to be used for the next guest. I'm learning from you, brother.
See, all in my defense, all I can say is this is a guest list curated by you. So you take the brickbats or the credit for it. How are you doing? It's good to see you, yeah, finally.
Great to see you. I'm seeing you after that very long discourse, the lecture. So for all of you guys who do not know, Nakul doubles up as a professor. तो कभी कॉलेज में प्रोफेसर की कमी पड़े तो नकुल मेहता को कॉल कीजिए. But no, honestly, you are somebody who I look up to for both advice and quite honestly, as a person, I really look up to you. Tell me, how have you been spending your quarantine? I know you've been cooking. Bawarchi ban gaye ho aap.
So, like unlike other people, I need to do my own cooking, cleaning, and by other people, I mean someone very specific who's on this chat. Yeah, who's on this chat? Who's very animated? But it's been there've been interesting times, yeah, Rishabh. To be honest, these are trying times, yeah. So although I think we're very fortunate that we have a house, we have internet connection to stay connected to each other. There is food on the table. But these are tough times. I mean, these are uncertain times where you don't know when you would go back in the world and do what you did before this happened. Would you even go back and do it the same way? And would work be the same? Would life be the same? Would meeting friends mean the same? I don't know. So these definitely are uncertain times. What keeps me, I think, positive and grounded is I think I found a lot of happiness in doing like basic home chores. I've never cooked before. And I have to confess, I think I can make a mean meal now. I'm very proud of it. I wash utensils really well, my wife says, and I've just taken a lot of interest in home chores, which I earlier probably didn't have the time for, or I told myself I didn't have the time for.
And the reason that you are so positive is because at 7 p.m. you come and troll this wonderful host for exactly 2 minutes and then run away after that.
Not even a host, this is. You call yourself a host?
Listen, I wore a suit. It's just that it's draped in an invisibility cloak, so you can't see it. That's the reason why you can't see it. But
okay. We have to tell everybody who's watching this live. Firstly, hi. Didn't say hi to everyone here. Hello, sorry, I haven't read any comments, but Rishabh reached out to me saying, listen, we have to do this. And I told him, I am not doing this. unless you wear a suit and come. And he promised me you'd wear a blazer.
Of course.
Clearly, he's not.
Of
He's
course.
not kept his end
Of
of the
course.
bargain. But I'm going to keep mine. I
Well,
mean, how have you been, man? Besides the 7 and 9 o'clock slots which you've taken over, what does life mean to you right now?
no, but in my defense, Baman Irani has stolen my last suit. He actually wore a suit and he came. Baman sir actually wore a suit and came on live. So he's like the
Baman sir fit into your suit. Is that what you're trying to say?
He's lost weight, Baba. He's lost weight. There's nobody to cook for him. Nakul, send your food. But, but on a serious
Please
note,
tell him please tell him I'll be more than happy to cook and clean for him. Yeah. Just give me a little space in the house.
no, no, but quarantine has taught me a whole bunch of things which I think I would have never done. Yeah. Like for a change, now I make my own bed. So like I actually change the cover on my bed every day without fail.
Are you serious?
I take my own clothes and put them in the washing machine.
Are you showering on your own as well?
Now this is another first, but I cannot disclose this on in front of 1,000 plus people. But because you are asking, brother, because you are asking, for the first time I'm confessing, I take a bath on my own.
Well done. So proud of you, man. I'm not going to go into the next question, which is playing in my head. Other things which happen, but yeah, we're going to stay away from that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Nakul, tell me, what is the biggest positive? You're one of the most positive people I know. Bloody hell, I asked this guy once, saying, listen, Nakul, can you do A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z? And I told him A, B, C, and he went out and he posted as if there is no tomorrow. I think the only reason that people, so honestly, we've had like 100, I'm not even joking, we've had like a bunch of guests come, okay? Every time I put up a Insta story, they're like, where is Nakuul Mehta? Now that I finally have you here, you're like a bundle of positivity and you really are a person who sees a glass half full. Full.
Cool.
What is the biggest upside to the pandemic according to Nakuul Mehta?
I don't know if saying positive right now is a good thing because no one wants to be positive right now in the sense which you understand. But what's been the biggest upside you asked me?
Correct.
Did you ask me that?
Correct. What's the biggest upside?
I think a lot of time for self-reflection, man. I think in a city like Bombay, a lot of times hustle takes over and mind takes over, and you constantly are telling yourself that you need to do different things, think different things, social obligations. But a time like this tells you that nothing else matters but the people you love, and I think it's also given me a lot of time for self-introspection, and I've also realized things I can be happy with, and I don't need too much to be happy with, which I think is a very liberating feeling, man. I feel really, really damn good about. So yeah, lots of learnings, yeah, about how you can't let your profession define you. I feel that a lot of us, for us, our self-esteem and self-worth completely depends on how well all of us are doing, and for me as well, in a lot of ways, if I was to be really honest. But I think this thing we're facing collectively as humanity has also given you so much more empathy. It makes you feel so much more love for people around you, and you look at your own job with a sense of it's okay. It's you're just one more person who's going out, winning his bread and butter, trying to put food on the table, and nothing more. Nothing more, because Instagram can make you believe otherwise.
Yeah.
It can really make you feel you're invincible. But yeah.
But the thing that keeps you going and keeps you happy, is it the secret to your happiness? Is it this book called An Open Mic? Because I've heard a lot about this book. It's become
Who's written this book?
If there is one reason that even one copy of this book is sold, is because of this guy, Baba.
Okay, wait. Show us the book. Show us the book properly.
Hey.
Let's do a proper plug. Let's not do a passing plug. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. I want to see it. At what age did you write open mic?
At what age did I write open mic? Just 2 years ago, yeah. 2 years ago.
How old were you? 16?
No, I was 14.
And and the biological age, if I may ask?
The biological age was 26, yeah. 25, 26.
That's what.
Huh.
So I'm so glad. So firstly, I would tell everybody on, I think whoever's on this chat that
Okay, bus. हो गया, हो
uh,
गया. हो
I
गया.
I think I'm damn lucky that I was one of the first few people who Rishabh trusted with reading the copy, and uh, thankful for that. There are lots of things actually I took away from this personally, and in fact, a year and a half back when you put this out, I also shared on my Insta stories. But I feel that Rishabh, besides your terrible hairstyle which you have, the only thing you have going for you in life is that you're someone who really knows how to inspire people. And I've seen you at platforms. I've seen you make speeches. After, I think after Barack Obama and Lalu Prasad Yadav, if there was someone I would put in the middle, that would be
Amazing.
Rishabh.
This is the best. This was the best one.
But genuinely, that book is wonderful. And for all of you who are remotely interested in anything to do with public speaking, or not even public speaking, I think these are life skills which he's talking about. And I think he's also read a lot of wonderful people, got it from his own sort of experience. And if you all can get a hand on it, not that hand, get a hold of that book. It's a lovely book.
Listen, bus. Now, because of this pitch, guys, please note 10% of all royalty of this book is going to this gentleman on the screen. That is the secret reason why he's promoting the book.
Which is no money because it doesn't sell right now. only because courier services are not.
No. Even otherwise, it does not sell. Let's be honest. We distribute it for free now.
Right.
So anybody who wants it can take it for free at an IIMUN conference. But Nakuul, I must ask you this important question. This very important question I have to ask. No, really, it's very important.
You do realize anything you say, I can't take seriously anymore, right? It's a tough one, right? So I know you're trying to impart hope and like inspiration to people here, but you've got the wrong guy right now. Wrong guy at the wrong time with the wrong co-host, the wrong host.
Of course, very true. And that is why at every IIMUN conference, people are asking, when will Nakuul Mehta give a speech? And that's the reason why 1,000 people are watching, 1,000+ people are watching you right now. But
guys, Rishabh has never invited me to give a speech. He says, just come, introduce people and sit.
What about the trip that you have to make to Srinagar and give a speech out there? Remember that promise that you made? That you have to go
Which I sold myself. We have to, man. So Kashmir is one of my favorite places in the world. And when I heard about Rishabh going and organizing an IIMUN at Srinagar, I was so jealous. And I said, how can you not think of me?
Right next to you.
And I'm hoping thank you so much, man. Thank you. I'm hoping next year when we're able to do this, and hopefully we're able to do this, if you make it or not, I don't know, but I'm definitely going to Srinagar, man.
If you're going, and even without you in terms of Srinagar, that's one place I'd love to go. The people are phenomenal, and all those people in Srinagar,
phenomenal.
Please remember, whenever IIMUN Srinagar is announced, DM and spam this man. Spam him and tell him saying that he has to come there. But Nakuul, the important question is this. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Rishabh.
But tell me, sitting at home, what is it? Yeah. The second part of what we do is called Tum Bhi Karo Na, okay? So,
I have to tell you, there are two shows which I just genuinely love. One is Oprah Winfrey, and the second one is yours because every day at 7 I pop in for a minute. Every day. So
you only rag me and troll me and then go away after 1 minute. Everyone knows this, yeah. Everyone knows it. But the second thing that we do is called Tum Bhi Karo Na. And in that, tell me, what is it that young people घर बैठे क्या कर सकते?
बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं यार. I feel सबसे पहले अपने माँ बाप की help कर सकते हैं. There is a ton of work at home. It was Mother's Day yesterday, and if you are done with putting lovely pictures of our mothers, we should really get into the kitchen and help that lady. So I think that's one. Second is so much. Yeah, I feel this is also a time when you can really build yourself, right? Use this as a time to read. I know Rishabh does a lot of that. I've been trying to catch up on the years I slowed down. Write. I feel read also, it's a great time when lots of things are open to us. Like I was reading somewhere that some of the leading art galleries of the world have opened themselves up for free, where you can go and watch art from across the world. When before did we have this opportunity? There are so many courses which I think top Ivy League colleges across the world are offering for free, from Harvard to MIT to Stanford. I'm doing one actually. I enrolled for one at Harvard.
Which is
Uh, it's all it's entrepreneurship and emerging economies. Very interesting.
brilliant. So
Very
now,
interesting.
so you're
Uh,
opening a restaurant. Are you opening a restaurant because you're cooking and entrepreneurship? So I'm combining the two, and you are the new Vikas Khanna of Mumbai. Is that what you're doing next after this, Nakul?
yeah, no. I want to be the next Rishabh Shah of Instagram.
Okay,
Of
bye.
Instagram.
कितना इंसान कितना ट्रोल करता है यार, कितना ट्रोल करता है. Well,
Uh,
so what's the plan? So you said that people can sit at home and learn online courses, register for these online courses, and they can do a bunch of other things. But what are these bunch of other things that they can do? Read online courses and
read, write, so much more, man. Like get real life skills. I think working at home and contributing at home is extreme is extremely important. I think, and these skills, all of us feel when we have to do it, we'll do it. But this is the time. So definitely do that. I feel use this time to really invest in relationships, get to know people. Yeah, I realized that much before this, life, because it was in such a run that you're also connecting with people with that much time in hand, and everything is based on this is all I can do and this is an agenda. But I feel for the first time, all of us have a lot of time. Really reach out, and one thing I'm trying to do, I want to do some is reach out to all my parents' friends and call them and speak to them, because I feel like a generation above us. It must be really lonely for them, man. Like staying at home alone, and how are they dealing with it? I feel like human touch at this point is the key. I think which you're trying to do in your own inimitable fashion on Instagram. I think find our own unique ways to do it, man.
listen, Nakul, there's something moving behind you. I'm sorry to interrupt what was a very serious conversation. That white cloth behind you is continuously circling. Is that intentional?
No, that's a light, yeah, which is just moving. Wait, I have a friend here who's just. Anya says hi. Anya is a dear friend of mine. Rishabh, say hi
Never
to
kiss your
Anya.
best friend. Never kiss your best friend.
That, that's Anya. That's Anya, dude. She's a wonderful young lady. I learn a lot from her every time I chat with her, and she's always scolding me. There's also
Listen, guys.
Siddharth who's in chat. Yeah, tell me.
Listen, guys who've
Sorry, go
not
ahead.
seen Never Kiss Your Best Friend is a phenomenal and wonderful web series. For people who've not seen it, don't go and see it, because once you see it, then you'll be gripped and you have all the time in the world, so you'll have to finish it. But honestly, if you've not seen it, go and watch Never Kiss Your Best Friend. It's on Z5 and you can use my subscription, don't pay. So we'll save money and be Gujarat.
Also, guys, it's Corona, so never ever kiss anyone right now, okay? There's also Siddharth. Siddharth's a dear friend of mine. Yeah? Siddharth's one of the leading creative minds in the business, director, writer, producer. Used to be a music genius, and he's taking my case right now. Nakuul sir, he calls me, the positive energy man, the super talented actor and most wonderful. Can't wait to work with you. Sid is the other way. Sid is someone who gave us like life-changing shows like Sanjeevni in 2000. He's directed some amazing films, and he's produced a bunch of stuff. Man, there was Kafir on Z5, which came.
Correct.
Really good guy, man. Really good guy, and yeah.
But he's rightfully
fond of
calling you sir, Nakul. Now you are reaching that age where you can advise an entire generation of people.
That's kind of true, yeah, Rishabh. I just hope that at some point you stop being an adolescent. I am aging whilst you're reverse aging. I have to tell everyone on this chat that Rishabh is still going through puberty. That's why his beard starts and stops here.
So I'm lying. I grew a beard in the middle also, and I grew it really well. I know. The only picture of mine that you liked on Instagram was the picture with the beard. I remember that. But no, but Nakul, everyone's been asking me this question, saying, please ask Nakul Mehta, when is he going to come out with his next? What is his next project? Where are we seeing Nakul Mehta next? I must ask you this.
It's a question I ask myself at times, but to be honest, the times we are in right now, I feel it's maybe insensitive to even think about. Uh, I feel it's actually not insensitive. Is not the right word. It's frivolous to think about what an actor is going to come out with next. I feel it doesn't even matter. I think what matters is that all of us get tide over this, man, and
You know what?
get back to living.
What I meant is we want to see you on the big screen now, Nakul. We've been seeing you out here, but I called up Karan and I told him saying there's this one very talented old man that you have to cast in your next movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Which Karan have you been speaking to? I want to know.
Karan Tacker, Baba. Karan Tacker.
You're so very current, bro. But bro, I would have been on the big screen right now, but unfortunately, I gave my time away to somebody on a mobile screen to be part of the Insta Live. So,
No, that's okay. You're making the right decisions, Baba. You're making the right decisions. But let me ask you another question, which is actually sensible and deep, because I know that you're one of these few people in your industry and across who can speak articulately about everything from spirituality to method acting. There are many young people who feel very anxious, Nakul. No, I'm serious. This time I'm getting serious. You don't let me get serious. Yeah.
Go. No, go. Yeah.
So there are people who get really anxious sitting at home. Okay, they're waiting. They're looking at their watches and saying, waiting for the lockdown to end.
Yeah.
Now, how do you cope with anxiety, especially when you are in that age of adolescence, or you're like me and reverse aging? Then how do you cope with that? How do you cope with this?
I think it's a brilliant conversation to have. Really, not a question, but I could share that. I mean, how I deal with it, and most certainly, I think it's things which all of us feel. Man, there are days when I wake up and I don't feel so great, and I feel anxious and I feel uncertain, and these are testing times for all of us. It's not easy. I'm sure you're like itching to go back and have I'm in conferences in the real world, touch people, feel people, and all of us don't know when it'll happen. But, I feel a lot of this anxiety and anxiousness also comes from within us. And in a lot of ways, COVID-19 is just like a mirror, or is the environment showing us things which already exist within us. Right? These are all these feelings which don't come because of Corona. They exist within us. They get manifested because there is a Corona which is scaring you. There's fear. How I like to deal with it is, I feel so. One of my favorite sayings. It's a Buddhist philosopher, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda. He, if I was to quote him, winter always turns to spring, which is my most favorite saying in the world. Which in a lot of ways I think holds so true today that in a lot of ways we're in the winter of human suffering right now, but we will get to spring. That's how life works. That's how seasons work. It's cyclical, right? So what we do in winter and how we build ourselves up now, and how we use this time not just for ourselves, but I feel to reach out to another person, have a conversation, and in a lot of ways, our voice does the Buddha's work. So when we reach out and give hope to another person, you're not just uplifting his spirit, you're uplifting your own spirit. So I feel how you can really expand your life at this point, is the key. So when we eventually get to spring,
correct,
we would have not just dealt with this time or felt okay. We would reach spring by being in like a highest life state, in a highest life condition, like raring to take on what the new world is going to look like, instead of being scared of what are the changes, because there will be changes. All of us are not going to be the same anymore. But I feel we'll go into it being far more hopeful. So each day at a time, and I feel it's absolutely okay to feel anxious. It's absolutely normal to feel anxious. I do at times, but to also, I think, remember that all of us are in it collectively, and to really use this time to create value. And it could be in a way which is unique to you. Right. So I find value in, in reading. I find value in spending time with family, with reaching out to friends. I think everyone finds their own sort of value, but I feel it's really a time to build ourselves. Yeah.
And because all of us are in this together, so divided we
Yeah.
stand, but united we fight. That is what the mantra is. And what you just said, we can also do the same thing by looking into a mirror, right? So it's just basically looking into a mirror, and that's the same thing that's happening.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying, like you said, we've got so much time to introspect and make ourselves better.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that
Yeah.
I usually spend my time looking into a mirror and working on my hair and trying to make myself better. So these are the little things,
Yeah.
guys. These are the little things that you.
But I'd like to add to that, Rishabh. In your case, there's a lot of room for improvement. Especially with the way you do your hair. So you need to do that. That is value in your life.
Let's go.
Listen, we have Trisha. Trisha's here, man. Trisha Shetty. She says, "Can I just say no one else could have engaged Rishabh in such a profound and deep conversation? You were just too kind. Well done. Still waiting for updates on your Roomba class. Act good. Yeah, Trisha. Dude, this woman is phenomenal, man. And I have to tell you a little story about how actually I got introduced to the work she does.
Right.
A very dear friend of mine, Kashmira Rani, she's also an actress. Also
Sure.
Parsi, so she's one of the 50,000 people that we have in the world, so I celebrate already. Kashmira one day called me in the middle of the night and she's like,
Right.
"Do you follow Trisha?" I said, "No, I've vaguely heard of her." I'm like, "What does she do?" So she spoke about the humanitarian work she does and how incredible she is. And then, of course, I went and saw what she does and heard some of her speeches. And what a woman, man. So inspirational.
Tell you, we got her. We got her on
so
the show. We got her on the show because
You
you were so busy. So then we got her before.
I'm so glad you got the right people, man. You leave the change for later. You get the right people in it, up front.
No.
Always.
But she's an absolute sweethart. She's very, very,
Yeah.
and she's very articulate in her views as well. And she's got very strong opinions, but she's very articulate in her thought process and views. But coming back,
Which I think young India must have. We must ask questions, and which I see a lot of times she does, and ask it to the right people, and also encourage and inspire like people to do it, and which you do. I see in conferences with everything you share. I feel this is like an alter ego of Rishabh. The one I see at IIMUN is a different guy, and the one I see here is this really cool, fun chap.
it's
Who's very different from the guy I see on the IIMUN stage.
it's a split personality disorder, Nakul. This is what I would term it as. But
All I would say it's a disorder for sure.
listen, okay, but Nakul, you're honestly a lot of fun, and therefore I have to end with a few short, quick, rapid fire questions. All right.
Questions should be short or the answers should be short?
The answers should be short.
Okay, because yeah, it's all fair call.
Nakul. Okay, so the first question: if there is one thing that you've learned in quarantine, which you can continue making a part of your day-to-day life after it becomes the new, like after we reach the stage of new normal, what would that one thing be?
Yeah.
From your daily routine
I've learned.
as a whole.
I think I've learned to prioritize and cut away the fluff from my life. I feel because of the career I am in, I used to feel obliged to say yes to a lot of things. And I feel so liberated saying no to things which don't add value to my life anymore, which is a good place to be in, I feel now. Yeah.
But that makes me question, how did you say yes to coming on this live? But
Pity.
But you know, if we ever did an IIMUN conference without you, people would not come for it. So there was this one. No. I think the last 3 years you've come for all the major championship conferences, and so all these,
at least one a year. Yeah.
at least one a year, and this time in Srinagar. But the next question I want to ask you is: recommend one book for young people to read, which they must read, which is available on the internet.
It's funny, actually. I have something open which I was reading right now. It's called A Lasting Peace, Collective Addresses of Daisaku Ikeda. The Daisaku Ikeda is a Buddhist philosopher guide. He's also my mentor. And he speaks about courage, compassion, love, nuclear disarmament, humanity. He's a humanitarian, and I think it's extremely important, and it's a lot of ideals you promote through IIMUN, and I feel
And you
all
believe
of
it.
us
And you believe in
must
a
read.
tempo.
Fully, man, fully. Yeah. In fact, I'm reading something which the topic of this chapter is the future is your responsibility.
Brilliant.
And I,
Read,
yeah,
read,
yeah.
read us your favorite expert, except from that. Have you started reading the chapter?
Expert, expert. Okay, I'm gonna read probably a
I'm
couple of
talking to
lines,
the
maybe.
expert, so except the बोलना ही है ना.
I'm gonna read three lines, okay? And I think it might really resonate with people who are here. When we are young, the years seem to fly by. From the bottom of my heart, I urge you to make the best of your youth by putting it to fruitful use in carrying our faith to all the peoples of the world, or to all the people of the world. And then he speaks about how I think each of us contribute to world peace. And a lot of us might question that, how am I adding up? It's such a huge world. And he talks about how you, by nurturing one more life or cherishing another human being or giving hope to one more person, is adding up to world peace. And if all of us could transcend differences and see the humanity in each other, there would be no wars. People would be able to celebrate the differences. And, whichever community, country, religion you might come from, you'll be able to see the fact that all of us, at the end of the day, are human beings who are equally deserving of respect, irrespective of the work we do. So a lot of that stuff he speaks about, which I think is extremely essential that all of us read.
This is
Yeah.
and I think it's I was exposed to the concept to his work
Yeah.
and to all of what you just mentioned via both you
Yeah.
and the Bharat Sukha Gakkai. And I think it is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
The peace proposals that he writes, and I think somebody that you all must Google and look him up. Not Nakuul Mehta, of course. Don't look him up, but Daisaku Ikeda, and you must look him up because I think he
Yeah.
is a phenomenal guy and a person. When you read through him, you kind of realize why I chase this fellow so much. And I have to say that because but it's true. Abba, I'm not joking. I'm serious. But and let me ask you the last and final question, Nakul.
Hmm.
This is on behalf of everyone at IIMUN.
Okay.
On answering this question, you get 1 million Zimbabwean dollars.
It's going to be such a shitty question. I already know this. And I don't want a Zimbabwean dollars. I need some Indian money, bro.
The question right now, all the money is locked in, Baba. It's locked in. We all are locked in. The money is also locked in. But the question is, which is your favorite platform to interact with young people? And the options.
One sec. I do not need options. My favorite platform to interact with young people and one adolescent who's with me is IIMUN.
Yeah. I'll excuse you for the last part because the first one was brilliant. The first part was brilliant.
And this I say in all honesty because and me and you have had this chat a lot of times that I think the beauty of what you're trying to do here is that it's so much more.
Suno logo, suno.
Can you hear me?
No, I'm asking people to pay attention to what you are saying.
So I think the beauty of what Rishabh has created here is far more than what he does there. I think it's become a platform which is now owned by so many young people, right? So it's no more just Rishabh. Like I feel I'm a co-owner of this platform, and the reason I come there to be part of it.
That was my last line.
Yeah. The reason I come then, and I look forward to these opportunities is because I learn so much from the young students who come there, as much as from the guests who come there, but more from the students who come there. Man, it's terrific what you do, and a lot of respect for what you do at IIMUN, man.
And a lot of respect for the person who's made IIMUN what it is today. I don't know whether you guys know this, all of you who are watching right
Science Brocha!
In 2016, this fellow came for the first conference in NSCI Dome. And Nakul, you have to let me do this because this part seriously. But In 2016, this fellow came for the first time in Dome, and I knew him as this one big TV star who is a larger than life personality who was moderating with Cyrus Brocha. And quite honestly, you managed to keep Cyrus Brocha in check, which I think very few people in this country or world can manage to do that. And I'm pretty sure his wife would be happiest to meet you. But you managed to, but you managed to keep Cyrus in check. And quite honestly, thereafter, I'll be really honest. His camaraderie and rapport with people in the organization is such that with or without me, this fellow is more IIMUN. No, it's true. He's more IIMUN than most people in IIMUN. So when you say that you're co-owner, I'm saying you're not just co-owner, but you are IIMUN, Baba. From Nakul, if there is one person who I can say this to with my hand on my heart, there is one person who stands for IIMUN as much as I do, and that is this person on the screen. So quite honestly,
Thank you, brother. Feelings are absolutely mutual.
and thank you for being the inspiration that you are, buddy. Because of you, young people are reading Daisaku Ikeda, and young people are reading an open mic. So that's the important thing.
And because of you, people are wasting their time on this Instagram live.
Okay, bye. अच्छा लिया, बहुत हो गया.
चल bye.
बहुत तारीफ कर ली.
Network is very patchy. Sorry. I think I have to go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh shit.
निकालो, मैं डिलीट कर रहा हूँ. इसको डिलीट कर रहा हूँ.
See you, buddy. It was lovely, man.
ठीक है.